this Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. Hi friends, welcome back to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and if you're new here, I am a mystical relationship coach, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purpose-filled lives. And today we are here to talk about Libra season. Libra season will be taking place between September 22nd and October 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. And Libra season will be a much welcome change after the very structured, task-oriented energy of Virgo season. And the one thing to be aware of is that during this Libra season, we will be experiencing Mercury in retrograde in Libra. We're experiencing our Mercury retrogrades in the air signs this year. So it will have us kind of in our heads about things, but it will be things that we need to think about. And for Libra, it will be about our relationships. And so be prepared for a little bit of the stirring of the pot in your relationships. So if there's things that aren't being said or any issues that are being ignored, this Mercury retrograde in Libra could easily bring those up. And Mercury is the planet of communication, so when it's retrograde, there does tend to be some miscommunications happening. And so make sure that you're really being open and honest with those that are closest to you. That's really important. And to double check communications, in the sense of making sure people understand what you mean when you speak to them, when you are communicating with them. So if you feel like there's all of a sudden some tension in your relationship because communication isn't working so well, pause, breathe, don't react. Don't just fly off the handle and be like, well, how could you think that I think that? It's a good time to say, well, wait, I need you to make sure that you're hearing me correctly. Well, wait, can you repeat back to me what you just heard? Because I want to make sure that I'm communicating clearly to you, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page and that you understand what I'm saying to you. So there could be a lot of that stuff coming up for Libra season. So Mercury will be entering retrograde on the 26th, 27th of September, and we've already been in the shadow since the 6th, since the last new moon in Virgo. And then it will go direct October 18th. After November 3rd, we'll be out of the shadow. So a lot of the energy of Libra season will be a focus on our relationships, and very much so it should be focusing on nurturing the relationships that are most important to you. In Virgo season, you should have gotten some grounding, and you should have been able to kind of prioritize yourself and your world a little better. And so hopefully you've kind of realized, maybe there are certain people in your life that you just kind of have drifted apart from each other, and that's okay. And it's just time to focus on the people who want to be in your life, not necessarily the ones who make you kind of feel like a second thought, or the ones that have just decided they don't want to be around you at all. This is definitely a time to review, are we in healthy relationship with ourselves and with each other? And you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. So definitely focus on being with the people that want to be with you, and the people that fill you up with love and light and energy. And we already had some of that with this Pisces full moon. This Pisces full moon right at the end of Virgo season on the 20th, on September 20th, really helped kind of usher in this feeling, this focus on needing to make sure that you are doing things with people or doing activities with yourself that re-energize you, that fill you up with energy, that ignite you, that are the things that remind you of how beautiful life is, and how and why you came to Earth and chose to be human. And that's really going to carry into Libra season. So Libra season for me, I always think of like pink. That's why I'm like wearing my pinks today. I did my more pinky makeup. I have more pinky nails. Like, I love color association with the energies of the seasons. Stone association. I'll probably be wearing my rose quartzes and my pink rhododendrite. I think that's how you say rhododendrite. It's just, a lot of that is because Libra, like Pisces, is the other sign that I feel like really looks at life through rose-colored glasses. You know, there's this, they say that Aquarius is the most evolved air sign, and that Aquarius is usually good about getting in touch with their emotions. I feel like Aquarius is actually better at not letting negative things affect them, and Libra is actually a little bit more on the positive side. They are represented by the scales, so, and they are the only archetype that is not a living thing, which is interesting. And so I have met certain Libras that over the years that are just like, oh, we're boring, or oh, you know, there's just like nothing exciting about us, or they're like, you know, they feel like they have this reputation of being like cold, or too logical, and I just don't find that to be true. All the Libras in my life are some of the most loving people that I've known, and Libra definitely like has a reputation of can be like maybe a little more flighty, or a little bit of an airhead. All air signs kind of have that quality every now and then, especially Gemini and Libra, but Libra is the most forgiving sign I found, like almost to a fault. I feel like I see some of these like loving Libras that are just like such gems of people, and they like don't value themselves enough. They so easily push themselves aside, and that they easily get taken advantage of by those people around them who know that they'll just like say yes and do these things, and that you can just step on them and they'll like eventually take you back. So if you have Libras in your lives, like, don't do that. Show them the same courtesy of forgiveness, because I feel like some Libras aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Libra energy can be not as stable. Like, they can appear to not maybe be as like stable as like an earth sign, but I feel like we should be returning this like courtesy that they give all of us of like acceptance and forgiveness. So whoever the Libras are in your life, like, just try to focus on their good qualities and forgive them when they're, you know, when you're maybe feeling like they're not tapping into their good qualities. Like, we need to hold more space for our Libras, because Libra holds so much space for us without even realizing it. And the energy of them is very diplomatic. They want things to be fair. They're really good at seeing both sides of the situation. Empowered Libras tend to be really strong in themselves, and just kind of like when they see that things aren't going to serve them, or they see that things don't align with them, they're like, don't care, just moving on. And I feel like that really carries into Aquarius, where Aquarians really quickly off the bat are just like, if it's not working for me, like, forget you, I'm not even dealing with it. It takes Libras a little bit longer to be in that strength, but man, once you see them really step into their power, it's like such a beautiful thing. So hug your Libras. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how beautiful they are, because we need them. We really do. And it makes me so sad when I've met Libras in the past. They're like, I'm a Libra, it's boring. Like, no, it's not. It's not. It's just, in society at large, in this world, we so easily write off kindness for weakness, and that they are some of the kindest, most accepting people and most forgiving. So they're here to teach us something. So Libra is represented by justice in the tarot and the major arcana, and as you can see, justice is pretty perfect for Libra. We were talking about them being very diplomatic and being able to see both sides of the story, and we have the scales represented here, and then we have the sword representing air. And as you can see, like, I feel like this is a good reminder of like what Libra can be when they're in their full power and strength, and I hope that you got some of that infused into you in Virgo season. This is, all of these seasons have really been leading up to us being in our power and being our unapologetic selves, and now it's time to like really love that. And I think, like, notice that there's like the crown. I just kind of noticed that there's also like the shroud here and the pillars, and that is very reflective of the high priestess. So even though air signs tend to be very cerebral, remember that we all have intuition, and it's just about how we tap into that differently, and just seeing the signs of when things like feel good or when things feel icky. And so it's the scales. It's like, well, what do I want to give my time and attention to? Like, how is it really making me feel? This Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. The forgiveness that we offer to each other is not always for the other person. Sometimes we have to forgive people for ourselves and for our own peace of mind. Because sometimes the people that we feel like betray us or hurt us, they don't always deserve our energy and our time of like going to them and saying, hey, I really forgive you for doing this thing, especially if they're not like coming to you and being like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Sometimes we have to forgive people without even getting any sort of acknowledgement or apology from that person. When I have to forgive people for myself and I don't have a way of telling them specifically, and forgiveness work takes a long time. Sometimes you can try to forgive people for years, and it just, and sometimes even when you do forgiveness work for those people, it doesn't, sometimes the hurt can be so deep that it's hard to let go. So for yourself, just start practicing this. Don't expect it to happen right away, but a good practice to implement when you're doing forgiveness work is letter writing that you don't send. So I've written a lot of letters to a lot of people that I don't send. A lot of time I burn them in full moon rituals, to just like let it go into the universe, send them, blessings. It's just about turning around the energy so that we're not focusing on this like revenge or ill will or like wanting them to hurt the way that we hurt. It's so easy to do that, and that just brings you into your lower vibrations, and we're better than that. You're better than that. You wouldn't be here if you weren't trying to live a higher vibration life. And I'm trying to live a higher vibration life all the time, but it's a practice. It is not something that you just like reach a higher vibration. You're just like, I'm up here all the time and nothing else bothers me. No, because we're still human. We came here to have human experiences, and human experiences come with the pain and the shadow, and it shows, and we have to experience that so that we can find our light and find the beauty in life in general. So if you have any more questions about forgiveness work or how to do that, please reach out to me. I'm really excited for Libra season. I really was excited for the Pisces full moon, because this really speaks to like my calling in life and how I just really want to help us all be in better relationships with each other in the world. And it really starts with having better relationships with ourselves. So if you don't know how to start forgiving other people, maybe write a letter to yourself and forgive yourself about whatever mistakes you might have made in the past, things that you might have treated yourself wrong. There's just, it really starts with you. And so I really implore you to do some sort of forgiveness work during Libra season, whether it's for yourself or for others, or maybe you need to actually speak forgiveness to your partner or your parent or your child or your friend, you know. So there should be lots of opportunities for this, but make sure you're also doing your best to discern where, like, why, like, your motives also behind it. Why do you want to forgive them? Does this person even deserve any of my energy if they are coming to me saying, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I miss you, I want to be back in your life? It's like, well, we got to recognize where am I now? Like, I appreciate it. I let's squash it. But a lot of the time, things change because they're supposed to. Things change because we can't go backwards. And it's really nice to have some nostalgia and some good feelings about things, but we also have to remember our boundaries and remember why certain people just aren't in our lives anymore. And that's okay. And we just want to wish them well and wish them well on their path, because we're all on our own paths too. It's really about focusing on your own path and what you need to heal and to forgive and to live your best life, and how to protect yourself and how to tap into the joy and abundance that is all around you. So I really am sending you so many happy, loving blessings for Libra season. I think it's going to be a really great one. The first day of Libra season is also the autumn equinox, so we're moving into fall here in the northern hemisphere. So I'm really excited for some different energy. It was, you know, it's been an intense couple years. It was an intense summer, and so just give yourself some time and some space. Hold space for yourself, and don't push yourself too far, okay? There's plenty of time for that. This is about being a little gentler and a little more loving with you. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into your taroscopes. Hi, Capricorn. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Ooh, things are coming out already. Goodness. Didn't have to shuffle that much. Let's do it. In it. Love that. I love it. It's just like ready. And I know you were ready. My partner's a Capricorn, and his band is literally called the Born Readies, because you were born that way. So first off, we have the Two of Pentacles. And this is cool because Libra energy is a dual sign, and there is, like, you know, it's represented by the scales, and so there's a lot of balance going on. And so you're definitely in a place where you're figuring out how to balance certain things in your physical world. And this could be work, family, friends, hobbies, children. For some reason, they want me to say children. Finances. These are like balancing tangible things and really figuring out how to make time for all these things. I always, for the last year or so, the image that's been coming up for the Two of Pentacles is not so much just like this balancing of two things, although every now and then it can definitely come through in a reading that way. But for the general readings, when we talk about like all these things we're trying to balance, it starts to almost feel like you're spinning plates where you have more than one thing in the air and you're trying to just keep it all up. It's like, it's more like juggling, and not just like juggling 3 balls. It's like juggling 5 like batons of fire, and then somebody's on the side like throwing like machetes into it, and it's just like fire and knives, and it's very stressful. And how am I going to keep it all up? Because you're very consistent and reliable, and so I think you can be really hard on yourself when you're not holding it all up, because you're just like, well, this is who I am, this is what people expect of me. And so this there's this theme from the Pisces full moon to Libra season also of like remembering that you're human. That's been coming up for some other signs throughout, like in the last couple seasons, but it's really being highlighted by Virgo, by the Virgo energy into the Pisces full moon into Libra season is like, remember that you're human and you can't always hold it all up at the same time, okay? So what do? You lean on the people that you love, the lovers. The lovers also represents Gemini. So you're very much having this, like, you're going to be really feeling this dual energy, okay? And with this focus on relationships, this is really going to challenge you to ask for help and to ask those people closest to you. And it's not just about, I think a lot of the time Capricorns can just tend to like vent and just need to like get the shit out, which is fair. But then I think at the end of it, you forget how to like ask how people can support you. Your loved ones around you don't always know how to support you unless you tell them. And sometimes you have to just tell them like, hey, I just need to vent about this right now. And I just need to like hear it from you. My partner and I try to remember when we're venting about things, we try to ask each other, you know, because sometimes we'll automatically come in and like, here's the answer to your problem. Here's how you cannot feel this way. And sometimes we have to stop ourselves with each other and say, do you want an answer right now, or you just want me to listen? So you might have to preface sometimes saying, hey, I just need you to listen right now. And it's okay to ask for something also. I think you're so used to you being the one that people come to help with their problems. And right now it just feels like Capricorn is like in a transition. Like I know a lot of Capricorns who are just in transition right now also. So there's definitely like, there's something about these transitions are also trying to get you out of your comfort zone, and being super independent is your comfort zone. And so this is about like learning how to lean on other people, especially when like you can't hold it all up. You can only hold up so much at the time. And so you need to like say, hey, I need you to help me hold this up. And you got to make sure that you're also telling people like how important it is to you, because Capricorn is so good at having it all together, or like, you know, being on their shit. And I've gotten in trouble with my Capricorn partner because when he asks me for help, sometimes he asks me so casually that I don't even realize that him asking me for help is a big deal in general. And I've told him like, hey, you gotta tell me like that you asking me to do this thing is like important and you need it done by a certain time. Because then he'll just be like, hey, can you do this thing for me? And I don't realize that him just asking that means it's a big deal for him. And I've had to realize that like when he's asking for my help, I have to make sure that I'm actually helping. And he's had to be receptive of when I have to say, hey, I can't actually do this for you today. So this is a learning curve for sure for you. And because of that, we have the moon in reverse also. And the fact that you have 2 major arcanas coming up right now shows that this is a major part in your life. Shows that this is a major turning point in your life. And where your resistance is coming out of your comfort zone and also digging deep into your subconscious, digging deep into your shadow and the things that might have been holding you back all this time. It's really time for some deep reflections for you. Because the big theme with Libra season is that the way to have better relationships with other people is having a better relationship with yourself. And the best way that you're going to have a good relationship with yourself is to know yourself on a deep, deep level. And so this is they're really wanting you to find out, not only being aware of what you do, what you think, what actions you take, how you behave, but why. Why do you feel that way? Why do you act this way? Why do you think this way? And is it serving you? I've noticed over the years, as I'm connecting with clients and doing readings with people, is that there are all these ways that we think and we act that aren't actually us. They're other people's ideas, family members that have raised us, or adults that have raised us, who have influenced us, society that has taught us certain things. There's so many times where these ideas in our head are coming from old shit. Where I reflect to people like, okay, well, if they have this certain idea and you can tell that it's rubbing them the wrong way and it's not working for them, I say, okay, is anybody actually saying that to you right now? Who's around you telling you that you have to do that? Who's around you telling you it has to be that way? And a lot of times they're like, oh, well, I guess, I don't know if I've actually heard anybody saying that. It's just, it keeps coming up in my head, and I guess that was what my mom said, and what society has made me think, that this isn't okay. And it's like, well, why are we focusing on that then? Are there positive things that we could be focusing on? Or could we be just at least standing in our power and recognizing that that's not going to work for me, and I'm an adult, and I'm my own person, and I don't have to operate that way anymore? You have the power to change it. You have the power to make it better for yourself. So what are those action steps that you can take? What are those mindsets that you can flip so that it's easier on yourself? There's a lot of ease that's coming with Libra season 2. Oh, we need it. Oh, we need some ease. Whew. Ease on down the road, the whiz. Ease on down the road, Capricorn. Okay, let's keep looking into this a little bit. 4 of Swords, ease, rest, sanctuary, sacred space, making sure that you are comfortable where you're at. Do you have a sanctuary that you can escape to? Is your home your sanctuary, your room your sanctuary? 2 of Wands, again, it is up to you. It is in your power to decide who you are in the world, how you represent to the world, how you are a part of it, and how you control your own world. Okay? And the 8 of Cups in reverse. Again, resistance to walking away from things that no longer serve you. There's this great resistance that you're having from digging deep. And look, they even have like similar moon, sun actions going on here. Water, earth, the sky. This is very similar. These are the only 2 reversals you have. Resistance to getting in touch with your deeper self. Resistance to walking away from things that no longer serve you. I think it's a really unknown fact about Capricorn that they can tend to be people pleasers, because they really like to take care of the people around them. They really like to provide for the people around them. And so when they're not doing that, when you're not doing that, or when you feel like you're not doing that, it can really affect you. And the thing, sorry, Chris, I'm using you as an example. I catch my partner in these moments where he's like, I'm just trying to make it okay for everybody. And I'm just like, I want you to make it okay for yourself. And that's what I want for you, Capricorn. I want you to make it okay for yourself first. Because as soon as you make it okay for yourself, then it will be okay for the people that matter. And if it's not okay for people, they're not your people, and they need to be walked away from. Or at least there needs to be some boundaries put up. And there's this opportunity, there's opportunities here for balance, for connection, for help. Let people help you for a change. You do so much for the people around you. I bet there's people around you that would love for you to ask for their help. And then you have an opportunity to rest and recharge and protect yourself and to be your unapologetic self and to put it out there that that's who you are. And if you don't like it, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Okay? I think that's kind of it. Like, bing, bang, boom for you, Capricorn. I know you like to get to the point, so I like when they give us your messages quickly. Lean in. Lean in. Notice the people around you who are there, who want to help you, who want to support you. This one says, you are magic. It's so funny because it looks similar to another back of the card, but I noticed the image is like slightly different. And I love this because already it's referencing music. Dearest you, pump up the music, bang the drums, get on up, and start that hustle towards your goals and dreams. Yes. There are times to be still, but this is not one of them. Now is the time to make that first move, say yes to life, pick up the phone, make that decision, and take that one step toward the gods or us, spirit. Expect a cascade of changes, good news and opportunities show up as if by magic. Well, we know it's really spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying go for it. So that they're telling you this resistance here, and it's not just walking away. It's like taking a step into a different direction. It's taking a step in a new direction, in a direction you deserve, in a direction that's going to be fulfilling to you. Well, we know it's really spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying go for it. Take positive action towards your dreams. Even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda, it will all be orchestrated by spirit and arrive in divine, appropriate timing. Don't you just love how it all works? We love you so, so much. Don't you just love how it all works out? It's all going to work out. I keep telling my partner that. It's all going to work out. I truly believe that even when it feels like it's not going to. Those are the times where you need to believe it more than anything that it's all going to work out. It is, and you're so capable, Capricorn. So capable and so skilled. I believe in you so much. Okay? Thank you for being here, and I will see you for Scorpio season. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate all of your support. I'm sending you so much love. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. Share with a friend. Go follow things at Meryl's Mystic on pretty much all platforms. And join me for my lives on Facebook and Instagram. My lives for October will be the 1st, the 15th, and then I will be doing a live for Halloween Samhain on the 31st. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Jesus, solid, solid, six.